In the heart of Japan, where modernity meets tradition, lurks a specter known to many, but understood by few, the Aka Manto. This eerie figure has become a staple of Japanese urban legends, a chilling reminder that some spirits are best left undisturbed. The origins of Aka Manto are shrouded in mystery, with variations of the tale stretching back several decades. Some believe the legend began in the post-war period, while others trace it to older folklore, suggesting a deeper cultural significance. The name Aka Manto translates to red cloak or red cape, indicative of the spirit's distinct appearance. The legend predominantly centers around school bathrooms, particularly those found in older, more decrepit buildings. These restrooms, with their flickering lights and echoing tiles, create the perfect stage for the haunting tale to unfold. It is said that Aka Manto haunts the last stall of these restrooms, waiting patiently for a lone victim. The spirit's appearance varies slightly across different accounts, but it is generally described as a tall, imposing figure draped in a red cloak, with its face often obscured by a mask. Some say the mask is white, with an eerie, expressionless gaze, while others describe it as a more traditional no mask, adding an element of ancient tradition to the specter. The encounter with Aka Manto is both simple and terrifying. A person, often a student, enters the bathroom, and as they sit in the last stall, they suddenly hear a voice. The voice is calm, almost polite, and it asks a simple question.
Do you want red paper or blue paper?
The unsuspecting victim, already unnerved by the eerie atmosphere, must make a choice. But this is no ordinary choice, for both answers lead to horrific consequences. One evening, Keiko, a high school student known for her skeptical nature, found herself alone in the school's bathroom. She had stayed late to finish some assignments, and as the building emptied out, an unsettling quiet filled the halls. She chose the last stall, thinking nothing of the stories she had heard from her classmates. As she settled in, she heard the voice clear and close.
Do you want red paper or blue paper?
Those who choose the red paper are met with a gruesome fate. According to the legend, the spirit will then violently slash the person, causing blood to spill and soak their clothes, hence the red paper. The mutilation is so severe that it resembles the person's body being draped in a red cloak of their own blood. Keiko, defiant in her disbelief, hesitated but eventually muttered,
Red.
Instantly, a sharp, cold breeze swept through the stall, and a pain unlike anything she had ever felt seared through her. It was as if invisible blades were tearing her apart. The last thing she saw was her own blood splattering against the stall walls, painting them a horrific red. The specific details of the slashing vary from story to story. Some say Aka Manto uses a knife, while others speak of claw-like hands that rend flesh with terrifying ease. Regardless of the method, the end result is always the same, a brutal, bloody death. Choosing blue paper is no safer. Those who make this choice are said to be strangled or have their life force drained from them, causing their face and body to turn a deathly shade of blue. This option, while less graphically violent, is no less terrifying, as it often involves the sensation of suffocation and the slow, agonizing realization of one's imminent death. Taro, a junior high student, had heard the legend but thought it was nothing more than a spooky story. One late afternoon, he found himself needing to use the restroom after school. The halls were empty, and an eerie silence permeated the building. He chose the last stall, and soon the dreaded question echoed in the small space.
Do you want red paper or blue paper?
Remembering the story, Taro nervously replied, "Blue." Immediately, he felt an unseen force grip his throat, tightening with every passing second. He struggled, gasping for air, his vision darkening as his skin turned a chilling blue. His lifeless body was found the next morning, slumped in the stall, his face frozen in a mask of terror. Aka Manto's malevolence does not end with these two options. Some variations of the story add further complications. For instance, asking for a different color or refusing to choose can lead to other dire consequences, such as being dragged to the underworld or being met with a fate even worse than the initial choices. One of the most unsettling aspects of the Aka Manto legend is its no-win scenario. There seems to be no escape once the spirit has chosen its victim. However, folklore also offers a glimmer of hope. Some say that the only way to survive an encounter with Aka Manto is to outwit it. By politely refusing both options and explaining that you do not need any paper, you might just walk away unscathed. This tactic, however, requires nerves of steel and the ability to maintain calm in the face of supernatural terror. Aka Manto's story has permeated Japanese culture deeply, becoming a topic of conversation among students and a popular subject for horror films and literature. The spirit's presence in school restrooms is particularly resonant, as these spaces are often associated with privacy and vulnerability. The idea that such a mundane, everyday activity could turn deadly adds a layer of psychological horror to the tale. This urban legend also serves as a cautionary tale, warning against the dangers of curiosity and the unknown. It plays on common fears, being alone, the dark, and the unseen, and amplifies them to terrifying proportions. In popular media, Aka Manto has appeared in various forms, from manga to movies, each adaptation adding its own twist to the legend. In some stories, Aka Manto is portrayed as a tragic figure, a victim of bullying or a heinous crime, whose spirit now seeks revenge. In others, the spirit is a malevolent entity that delights in the fear and pain of its victims. The story of Aka Manto is more than just a ghost tale. It reflects deeper cultural and psychological themes. The public restroom, a place of vulnerability and isolation, becomes the perfect setting for such a haunting. The choices presented by Aka Manto, red or blue, symbolize a no-win situation, a metaphor for the difficult decisions people often face in life, where every option seems fraught with peril. Moreover, Aka Manto's polite demeanor juxtaposed with its horrific actions creates a disturbing contrast, emphasizing the unpredictable nature of danger. This duality is a common theme in many ghost stories, where what seems benign can quickly turn malevolent. In some interpretations, Aka Manto is seen as a representation of societal pressures and the fear of making wrong choices. The bathrooms in schools, places where students often seek refuge from the outside world, become the stage for these fears to manifest. The legend serves as a reminder that not all dangers are external. Sometimes the most terrifying threats come from within our own minds and the choices we are forced to make. Despite the modern world's advancements, the legend of Aka Manto remains potent, particularly among school children. Every few years, a new wave of sightings and encounters are reported, each adding to the legend's mystique. In 2018, a series of strange events at a high school in Tokyo brought the legend back into the spotlight. Students reported hearing strange noises in the bathroom, and one girl claimed she saw a figure in a red cloak vanish into thin air. The school administration dismissed these as mere rumors, but the students knew better. They began avoiding the last stall in the bathroom, leaving it eerily vacant. One evening, Hana, a new student who had not yet heard the full story of Aka Manto, stayed late to finish her art project. Needing to use the restroom, she unknowingly chose the dreaded last stall. As she sat, she heard the now familiar question.
Do you want red paper or blue paper?
Terrified but determined, Hana decided to follow the advice she had overheard from her classmates.
I don't need any paper, thank you.
She whispered, her voice barely audible. The silence that followed was oppressive. Then the voice spoke again, this time with a hint of menace.
Very well. But remember, I will be waiting.
Hana fled the bathroom, her heart pounding. She never used that stall again, and her encounter became another story whispered among the students, a fresh chapter in the enduring legend of Aka Manto. Aka Manto remains a powerful and enduring figure in Japanese folklore, a testament to the country's rich tradition of ghost stories and urban legends. Whether one views the tale as a simple ghost story or a deeper metaphor for life's unavoidable choices, it continues to capture the imagination and fears of those who hear it. So next time you find yourself in an old, dimly lit bathroom, remember the story of Aka Manto and choose your actions wisely. The legend of Aka Manto is not just a tale of terror. It is a reflection of the human condition, the fears we harbor, and the choices we dread. It reminds us that some legends endure because they speak to something fundamental within us, a primal fear of the unknown and the unseen. And in that darkness, Aka Manto waits, a red cloak fluttering in the shadows, forever ready to ask the most dreadful question of all. And that is the legend of Aka Manto, the red-cloaked yokai. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this story.